Don't go yet, my child. I know there is a wound in you that you do not show to anyone. You have learned to smile over it, to function around it, to keep it tucked away where no one can see. But I see it. I have always seen it. The place where someone you loved and trusted broke something in you that has never quite healed. And out of all the people I could have reached today, I reached you on purpose, because that hidden wound has gone untended too long, and I want to put my hand on it. You, the one who got hurt by the people who were supposed to be safe. I have something to say to you about that wound, and about the wall you built afterward. And there is a truth at the end of this that I do not want you to miss. So stay with me. Do not leave before I do. Breathe with me first. I know that even now, just naming the wound, your body tenses. The memory has a grip on you. So breathe in, slowly, and let your guard down. Just here, just with me. You do not have to protect yourself from me. I am the one place in all the universe where you are completely, perfectly safe. So let the breath go all the way down. You can lower the shield for these few minutes. My child, let me speak to what happened to you. Someone you trusted hurt you. Maybe it was a parent who was supposed to protect you and wounded you instead. Maybe it was a spouse who promised forever and walked away, or betrayed the vow in the dark. Maybe it was a child you poured your life into, who turned on you with words that still echo. Maybe it was a friend who knew all your secrets and used them against you. Maybe it was the church, the very people who should have shown you me, who showed you judgment instead. Whoever it was, the wound is the same in its deepest place. Someone got close enough to be trusted, and then they used that closeness to hurt you. And ever since, a part of you decided that trust is too dangerous, that it is safer to keep everyone at a distance, that if you never let anyone all the way in again, no one can ever hurt you like that again. I understand why you built the wall, my child. I do not condemn you for it. It was the wound trying to protect itself. But hear me gently. The wall that keeps out the pain also keeps out the love. The same barrier that protects you from being hurt again is slowly starving you of the very thing your heart was made for. You were not made to live behind a wall. You were made to be known and to be loved, and the isolation is its own kind of wound, quieter, but just as deep. Let me tell you something about the betrayal that you may never have considered. When they hurt you, I was there. I saw it happen. I did not look away. And it grieved me. It angered me to see one of my children wounded by someone I had given them to trust. Your pain was not invisible to me, and it was not unimportant. I wept over what was done to you. The God of all heaven took the side of the wounded one, and that one was you. I want you to do something. In the comments below, without naming names, name the wound. Say, I was betrayed by someone I trusted, and I am bringing it to God. You do not have to give the details. Just bring it into the light, here, where I and a community of others who have been wounded can hold it with you. And if you simply need to be reminded today that you were not wrong to hurt, that your pain was seen, that you are not broken beyond repair, type Amen. I see everyone. I have seen your wound from the beginning, and I am not done healing it. Breathe with me again. In. God saw what was done to me. Out. My pain was never invisible to him. In. I do not have to protect myself from him. Out. With him I am perfectly safe. Let me speak to the betrayal that came from inside your own family, because that is a particular kind of agony. There is a special pain when the wound comes from your own blood, from the people who are supposed to love you most, the people you cannot simply walk away from, the people whose betrayal feels like it rewrote your whole history. You keep going back over it, trying to understand how someone who shared your table, your name, your memories, could do what they did. My child, I know that pain more intimately than you realize. I was betrayed by my own. The ones I came to save turned on me. One who shared my bread, who I called friend, sold me with a kiss, the very gesture of affection, twisted into the instrument of betrayal. The ones closest to me scattered and denied they ever knew me on the night I needed them most. I am not a God who watches your betrayal from a comfortable distance, unable to relate. I have stood exactly where you are standing. I know the specific ache of being wounded by the ones who should have loved you. When you bring that pain to me, you are not bringing it to a stranger. You are bringing it to the one who has felt it too. Let me speak to the anger you are not supposed to feel, because some of you carry a rage about what was done to you that you have never let yourself express, because you were taught that good people, faithful people, are not supposed to be angry. So you swallowed it, and it turned inward, and it became bitterness, or depression, or a low, constant ache you cannot name. My child, you are allowed to bring me your anger. I am not fragile. I would rather you bring me your honest rage than offer me a polite prayer that buries the truth. Tell me how much it hurt. Tell me how unfair it was. Pour out the whole bitter cup in front of me. I can hold all of it. I am not going to love you less for being honest about your wound. The Psalms are full of my children, crying out in raw anguish and even anger, and I put those prayers in the sacred book on purpose, so you would know that you can come to me exactly as you are, wound and rage and all. Now let me speak the harder word, gently, because you need it for your own freedom. There will come a day when I ask you to forgive. Not yet, perhaps, not before you have grieved, but one day. And I need you to understand what forgiveness is and what it is not, because the misunderstanding of it has kept many of my children chained to their wound for decades. Forgiveness is not saying that what they did was acceptable. It was not. Forgiveness is not pretending it did not happen, or letting them back in to hurt you again, or telling them they were right. Forgiveness is something you do for your own soul, not for theirs. It is the act of handing the debt they owe you over to me, and letting me be the one who deals with it, so that you no longer have to carry it. Unforgiveness is a poison you drink, hoping the other person will suffer. Forgiveness is setting a prisoner free and discovering the prisoner was you. You do not have to forgive in your own strength, my child. You cannot, and I would never ask you to. But if you will bring me the wound, again and again, I will do the healing in you that makes forgiveness possible. Not as a thing you grit your teeth and perform, but as a fruit that grows naturally once the wound is finally tended. Forgiveness is not the beginning of healing. It is the flower at the end of it. Do not rush it, but do not refuse it either, because it is the door to your freedom. And now, because you have stayed with me this far, here is the deepest truth, the thing the wound has been hiding from you all this time. You have believed that the betrayal broke something in you that can never be repaired, that you are permanently damaged goods, that the trusting, open-hearted person you used to be is gone for good, and all that is left is the guarded, scarred version that survived. But hear me, my child. You are not damaged beyond repair. You are being remade. The very wound you think disqualified you is becoming the place of your deepest strength. There is a tenderness in those who have been wounded and healed that the never wounded will never possess. There is a compassion that only comes from having bled. I am not merely patching you back to who you were before the betrayal. I am making you into someone deeper, wiser, more compassionate, more able to love the wounded, because you know the territory. Your scars are not a record of your defeat. They are becoming a testimony of my healing. And one day, You will use the very wound that nearly destroyed you to bring healing to someone else who is bleeding the way you once bled. But do not go yet, my child. There is one thing more, and it is the thing you need most, about the day you will trust again. Stay with me a little longer. That is who you are, my child. Not the broken one, ruined by what was done to you. The healing one, being remade by the love that never betrays, becoming a wounded healer in the hands of the God who turns every scar into gold. Now hear what I declare over you, the one wounded by someone you trusted. What was done to you was not your fault. The brokenness of the one who hurt you was never a verdict on your worth. You are not unlovable because someone failed to love you well. You are not too much, and you were never too little. The failure was theirs, not yours. You can trust again, not foolishly, not blindly, but truly, because I will teach you how. Let those words go to the place where the betrayal convinced you that something was wrong with you, because that is the cruelest lie the wound tells, that you were hurt because you deserved it, because you were not worth being treated well. That is a lie, my child. The way someone treated you was a revelation of what was broken in them, not a measurement of what you are worth. Their failure to love you correctly says everything about their wound, and nothing about your value. Let me tell you about a young man whose own brothers betrayed him. They were jealous of him, and they threw him into a pit, and they sold him into slavery, and they told their father he was dead. For years he suffered for a betrayal he did not deserve, falsely accused, imprisoned, forgotten in a cell. If anyone had a right to a sealed heart and a lifetime of bitterness, it was him. But I was with him in the pit, and I was with him in the prison, and I was working through every cruel thing that was done to him. In the end, I lifted him to a place of such honor that he was able to save the very brothers who had betrayed him, and the entire region from famine. And when at last he stood before them, he did not say, "You destroyed me." He said, "What you intended for evil, God intended for good." My child, I am not telling you that what was done to you was good. It was not. I am telling you that I am the God who can weave even the betrayal into a story of redemption so complete that one day you will stand on the far side of it and see how I was working the whole time. The pit was not the end of his story. Your wound is not the end of yours. Let me speak to the hardest part, trusting again. You are afraid that if you ever open up again, you will just get hurt again. And so you would rather stay safe and lonely than risk being known and wounded. I understand, but hear me. I am not asking you to trust everyone. Wisdom and discernment are gifts, and the lessons your wound taught you about who is safe are not all wrong. But do not let the people who hurt you steal your capacity to ever be close to anyone again. Do not give the ones who wounded you that much power over the rest of your life. Some of the people in your life now are safe, my child, and they are waiting on the other side of your wall, longing to love you, if you will let them in a little at a time. And above all, trust me. Start there. Even if you cannot yet trust another person, you can begin by trusting the one who has never betrayed you and never will. I am not like the one who hurt you. I will never use your vulnerability against you. I will never abandon you when you need me most. I will never turn your trust into a weapon. You can pour your whole weight onto me, and I will not break the trust. Not ever. Not once. Not in all of eternity. Let me be the safe place where you relearn how to trust at all. Breathe with me once more. In, what was done to me was not my fault. Out, their failure was not my verdict. In, I can learn to trust again. Out, I will start by trusting the one who never fails. There is a current running beneath your wound, my child. in the place deeper than the betrayal, deeper than the wall, deeper than the scar tissue you built to survive. It is the stream of my healing love, and it has been flowing toward that wounded place this whole time, even when you kept it walled off, even when you would not let anyone near it. The wall held back the people. It never held back me. I have been seeping into the cracks all along, tending what you would not let anyone else touch. Step into that stream now. Let it reach the wound the way nothing else has been able to. Let it carry away the bitterness, the self-blame, the fear of ever being close again. Feel it moving over the broken place. Warm, gentle, patient. The love of a God who will never, ever betray you. Washing over the very spot where trust was shattered, and beginning, slowly, to make it whole. Think of how a broken bone heals. When it knits back together, the place where it broke becomes thicker, denser, stronger than the bone around it, so that the very spot that was shattered is now the least likely place to break again. That is what I am doing in you. I am not simply restoring you to the fragile trust you had before the betrayal. I am building something stronger at the exact place where you were broken. The wound is not making you weaker in the long run. Healed in my hands, it is becoming the strongest part of who you are. So when the memory comes back, and it will, you will have a new answer. You will say, "What was done to me was not my fault. My worth was never set by the one who failed to love me. I am not damaged beyond repair. I am being remade, and I will trust again, starting with the one who has never once betrayed me." Rest now. You can lower the shield for the night. You can let the wound be tended. The God who saw the betrayal, who wept over it, who took your side from the very first moment, is holding the broken place with the gentlest hands in all of existence, and he is not going to hurt you. You are safe here. You always were. Come back tomorrow, my child. There is a new message waiting for you here, every single day. Each morning, I have something to say to the ones I love, and I will keep speaking healing over your wound for as long as it takes, because I am patient, and I am faithful, and I do not give up on what I am restoring. Subscribe and turn on the bell, so that on the day the old wound aches again, you will be reminded that you are being made whole. And here is the last thing, the thing you have had backwards all along. You have been waiting to heal, so that you can trust again. You have told yourself that once the wound closes, once you feel safe, once enough years have passed, then you will risk letting someone in. My child, it does not work in that order. Trust is not the reward at the end of healing. Trust is the medicine. The wound does not close and then permit you to open. The wound closes because you opened. A little, to one safe person, on one ordinary afternoon, and nothing terrible happened, and something in you that had been holding its breath for 20 years finally exhaled. You have been waiting for a feeling that only arrives after the step. So take the step, not the large one, the small one, and I will be standing in the room. One more breath with me before you go. In, I am safe with him. Out, he is healing what was broken. You were not wrong to hurt. You were not broken beyond repair. You were not betrayed by the one who matters most. You are held in the hands that never fail, and you are being made whole. You are loved. You are seen. You are mine.